free agent at the end of the season. 2nd and 8, Tannehill. And that ball's knocked away.
On the move, sets his feet, eyes downfield, wants Jones in double coverage. It's picked off. Trey Herndon. He was down back of the 15-yard line.
Hey, what's going on, NFL and Jags Nation? It's Brett James back again with another video. And today, man, we got exciting breaking news in the NFL. The Tennessee Titans have just traded for Pro Bowl wide receiver Julio Jones. And this is huge news in the NFL community because the Tennessee Titans have been in a Super Bowl window the last couple of years with the emergence of Ryan Tannehill, Derrick Henry being the clear and definitive best NFL running back in the game today, and AJ Brown has been a superstar in the making, emerging onto the scene before our very eyes. And now Julio Jones joins the squad as one of the best receivers in the NFL. But let's stop wasting time, man. Let's hop right into this video though. Now, yes, as a diehard Jacksonville Jaguars fan, I do have some questions about this trade, and I do have my own personal opinions about this, so I'm going to get into that in just a moment. But I want to talk about this from the Tennessee Titans perspective. If you're the Tennessee Titans, you didn't give up the farm to get him. You gave up a second and some other assets in order to acquire Julio Jones, which I thought was a huge win within and itself because, like I said, he is one of the best receivers in football. Your Super Bowl window is not that much longer. Running backs will tend to fizzle out at some point throughout their career. They're not always going to be a guy who's going to be able to get you 1,500 scrimmage yards every single year in and year out. Derrick Henry is phenomenal, but Ryan Tannehill is going to need some of the help. And Ryan Tannehill needs all the help that he can get on the offensive side. And even though the defense is going to be caught lacking now a little bit, but Julio Jones on the offensive side will make up for some of those defensive efficiencies. And another point I want to make is if I were a Tennessee Titans fan, this puts me in the division winner spot as we speak right now in the AFC South. They should be the favorites to come out and host a playoff game immediately in the first round of the NFL playoffs. The Carson Wentz-led Colts are not probably looking too good just because we don't know what kind of Carson Wentz we're getting. Yeah, he's reunited back with Frank Reich, his offensive coordinator, when Carson Wentz was having that MVP-like season before he went down, and then Nick Foles stole the show and won the Super Bowl. This Colts team is very good, and they're a good Super Bowl roster. I just don't know how much I trust Carson Wentz. We're going to have to wait and see. Then that rolls on to the Jacksonville Jaguars, and yes, even as a Jags fan, the Jags are not favored to win the division this year. They could go and surprise a lot of people, maybe pull off 9-10 wins, but if I'm going to be realistic, I'm going to say we get 7-8 wins this year. And as much love as I have for this guy back here, Trevor Lawrence, this Jags team is still very, very young. I'm not sure if they're ready to take that step. The Tennessee Titans are a proven winning organization over the last couple of years. I believe they're 7-1 versus Jacksonville in the last 4 years, so it's a testament to just how great the Tennessee Titans have been versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. And then that leads to the Houston Texans, a team that is going to finish 4th in division. There is no doubt in my mind about that. After all the Deshaun Watson allegations, which I'm praying for the best for him, I hope everything's well. Bill O'Brien totally screwed over that team after sending away DeAndre Hopkins, and that team is just gone straight to the dumpster fire. I'm glad J.J. Watt's in a better situation over with the Arizona Cardinals. Now I want to move on to the Jacksonville Jaguar perspective of all of this. Now look, I don't speak for all Jags fans, and I don't even speak for all NFL fans. I really just speak for myself because I feel like I'm the odd one out, and I mean this unbiasedly. I'm going to take my fan out of this for a moment. I don't see this being that big of a deal. I truly don't. As phenomenal and as studdish of a receiver as Julio Jones is, he is injury prone. He is 32 years of age, and I believe he's taken a $15.3 million cap hit this year, and then I believe like an $11 million cap hit the following year, and then the year after that. So, I mean, he's going to be a pretty pricey guy who's going to be turning 33, 34, and 35 years of age. Even though he's going to be alongside AJ Brown and Derrick Henry, that's an expensive aging receiver right there. But even if you want to talk about just this year, or maybe next year, while he's still got some prime time left in him, I just don't see this being that big of a move. I don't see the Tennessee Titans having enough defensive pieces to get them over the hump to win enough games. And even though they might score 30, 40 points at any given time on any given Sunday, I really feel as if this move is just, it's good. Like, it says, okay, we're doing something in order to show, hey, Ryan Tannehill, we're taking this very seriously. We want to show the fans that we can go out there, make a big time move to get us over the hump. But I don't think that they're still better than the Cleveland Browns. I sure as hell don't think that they're better than the Kansas City Chiefs. You could argue the Baltimore Ravens. I would maybe still take the Ravens over them. You know, there's just too many factors in the AFC where I'm like, damn, like, I just don't know if Julio Jones is the missing piece for this Tennessee Titans team, and I mean that unbiasedly. Of course, it's going to be a great move. Of course, Julio Jones is a phenomenal receiver in the NFL, but I'm just not that stoked about it. And even as a Jags fan, I'm not really scared. You know, look, I don't expect the Jags to be contending this year. So if we do So if we overachieve and get 9-10 wins, then great. Good for us. I don't expect it. And what I also mean by that as a Jags fan is I look at our secondary. Drafting Andre Sisco in the 3rd round, signing Rayshawn Jenkins from the LA Chargers. Now we have Shaq Griffin over from the Seattle Seahawks. CJ Henderson is coming off a promising rookie year when he showed some flashes when he was actually on the field and he wasn't injured. Then you got Tyson Campbell, the first pick of the 2nd round at pick 33 overall, cornerback out of Georgia. Then you've got a proven guy in Sidney Jones and Trey Herndon, who just re-signed back with this team in the offseason. Like, the Jags have a solid secondary. And sure, this could be a secondary that flies under the radar and surprises everybody. But, I mean, our secondary looks pretty solid. You know, I'm not sitting here acting like it's going to be Jacksonville, like AJ Boye, Jalen Ramsey 2.0, but I think our secondary is pretty damn good. So as a Jags fan, from my perspective, good for the Tennessee Titans. I take my hatred and my fan out of it for a moment. Good for them. I think this is a good move that gets them, quote unquote, over the hump, and it shows that they are trying to make competent decisions in order to go and win and help Derrick Henry and help Ryan Tannehill. But as a Jags fan, I'm like, okay, good for them. They're going to win the division. What's next? Maybe they make an AFC Championship appearance. I definitely don't see them getting to the Super Bowl. Think that they're a 2nd round exit. You know, I mean, I'm not that excited for this move. I really am not even nervous. Even as a Jags fan, I'm like, oh, great. The Tennessee Titans are going to be running a division for years. Like, that's not how I view this. I view the Jags as the next team that's going to be running the division in a couple of years once Urban Meyer and Trevor Lawrence learn and develop into the NFL ways. So good for the Tennessee Titans, though, and I genuinely mean that. Maybe they prove me wrong, and maybe Julio Jones proves me wrong, but I'm just not that excited about this move. Maybe I'm not the only crazy one out there, but I feel like I'm one of the odd ones out. Last thing I want to say is, though, man, look, for real, A.J. Brown is the real deal. I feel like A.J. Brown's still going to be wide receiver #1. Having 1,000-yard seasons in both of his years in the league. He had 11 touchdowns last year as well. This guy is a physical, dominant specimen of a receiver, and this guy just dominated the Jags both years I watched him. I'm like, this man is something different. You know, so the Tennessee Titans, look, I think that they're going to do something special this year. I think that they might make a deep playoff run. We're going to have to wait and see. But Julio Jones, A.J. Brown, that's a legitimate wide receiver core. Good for the Tennessee Titans, man. But that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know, what do you guys think about the Julio Jones move to the Tennessee Titans? Who do you think won that trade? I think it's pretty obvious the Titans did, but if you feel as if the Falcons did, let me know down in the comments below as well. Regardless if you're a Jags fan or not, welcome to the channel, man. I appreciate all the support, you guys. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe down below for more Jacksonville Jaguars and NBA content as well. That's it for this video, and I'll catch you next time, boys. I'm out. Peace!